What's going on, everyone? Welcome to my channel. I hope you guys are doing so well today. I have 3 piles for you guys to choose from, and this is a general psychic reading. So the best way to get linked up with the messages you need to hear most is to ground your energy before choosing intuitively. That way, you and I stand the best chance to link up in time and space so that I can pull through the most accurate and useful information for you. Pile 1 is Aloe, Pile 2, Rhododendron, Pile 3 is Clover. Alright, you guys, so make sure to do your best to choose intuitively, and I will meet you at your reading. Hey, Pile 1, welcome to your reading. I hope you guys are doing so well today. We're just going to do a general reading, but you guys, I talk about it a little bit, maybe too often on here. I struggle with these general readings because especially when I do psychic work, I'm a perfectionist, and you cannot be perfect, or it's just my belief, highly accurate when you're reading for a general audience, because what I do is I link with the individual at the soul level. That's how I can produce the most useful information. But I've been doing a little bit of thinking over the weekend, over the last couple of weeks, and what I'm going to start doing for at least a little while on here is just begin with one major arcana card, just to ask Spirit, where is Pile 1, Pile 2, Pile 3? Where are they in a very big overarching sense? Because it just helps me, you guys. I like this one for you. It helps me if I have like a broader perspective. Now, I don't know if you guys are like familiar with the tarot, but like a card could mean as little as one word, like the Knight of Pentacles, slowly, or it could be like a 30-minute long spiel if it was put into a different context. So I'm not saying I'm doing this forever, but at least for a little while now, I want to start with a major arcana card. And of course, you know me, I'm going to be experimenting until I find something that I resonate with. So let's just start here. Your major arcana card is Temperance. Wow. Okay. A period of harmony. I feel like in general for Pile 1 right now, there's this concept where I'm just seeing the image. It's a package being set down with a balloon string attached to it, like many. Think of Up, the movie Up, but maybe not such a big scale. I'm just seeing things, there's the emphasis on them being touched down to the ground, but gently, right? There's something about shifting puzzle pieces or multiple moving pieces. I see them just settling. Spirit is giving me this concept of it's not a sigh of relief, though it could be for some of you. It's just I get this settling concept where I feel like you're about to experience or are experiencing, timelines will change for everyone. This period in your life where things are just going to feel like they're coming into balance, coming into harmony. I think some of you are healing, okay? This is healing as in healing has already started. You've been experiencing the positive side of healing. I do think that there has been some rougher patches where things had to break apart in order to be put into a better position. And that's why I'm getting this settling aspect going on for you guys. Cool. So going to start there, and I want to get some earth magic on top of this. I'm going to do an animal spirit guide after that, and then take a look at the tarot. And then I want to do some, I haven't done these in so long, you guys. I want to do a message from the void to finish off your reading, so stick around to the end. I love those. Okay, Spirit, I see this card of Temperance. I get for pile, oh, you want this. Okay. Wow. Okay. There's a message coming through about personal empowerment and your personal power. This woman, this individual, their hand is on their stomach. And I do this sometimes, almost in the exact same position. I will place my hand like kind of like slightly below my navel, and it creates a really grounding sensation when I'm trying to like tune in with myself. And I receive a lot of my messages psychically through the solar plexus or the stomach, because I'm an empath and I hold a lot of my emotion there, and interpretation of it, especially like psychical information, I will hold it there. With this lightning card, I'm almost getting, because I was drawn to the moon as well, and the horse, which represents power. And we have the lightning card coming out that has power as well. So I feel like there are like shifts that you have been going through, pile one. There's this period of harmony that we're in right now. And I almost just, those little gifts that were set down, that spirit was showing me like little boxes. Maybe some of you are interested in moving. Little boxes being set down, little packages, little presents. I feel like those little gifts are a metaphor for access to like your powers, your divine powers. Some of you have the power to heal. Some of you have psychic ability. We all do. Some of you just have a little bit more of a natural knack for that. But for others of you, what I'm getting is like you are feeling like really different. Your approach, it's like softer, but you're not less powerful. It's a very interesting message. Talking in metaphor, of course. That's how these messages come through. Hey, did you guys see my community post about the name change? For so long, I used to try to be super, super specific, because I love to speak in metaphor. I'm also like a creative writer. I love to write poetry as well. And so it's very natural for me to speak in metaphor because I'm shown metaphors when I reach for psychic information. And for the longest time, I tried to fight that, but I'm also recognizing that if I'm a little bit less specific, that's for a general audience. And I'm just being really authentic with you guys today about these general readings, because first and foremost, like I will always be very strongly of the opinion that if you actually want help in your life, you have to book a psychic reading on an individual basis. That does not have to be with me. But if you're not doing this for entertainment purposes, you really should seek an individual so they can link with you. It's much easier than going to a general reading. But the metaphor, the post I was speaking about, how the name changed, the Oracle of Merlin, it fits with me so well because I speak in metaphor, but that could also be something that I hold on to moving forward on this channel, using more metaphor, because that would apply to a broad audience, right? Because it gives you kind of a more nuanced view. Okay, so let's just take you. You have moose with self-esteem. Okay, so there's a lot to feel very good about right now. Who are you? Squirrel. Yeah, I get that. Squirrel can be like gifts or grounding, something along these lines. Okay, so what I'm picking up on, especially with these cards right here in a general concept, you are feeling very good. You have reason to feel very good right now. There's something about being in your personal power. And I want to know kind of what we want to do with it or where that's supposed to go. So let's just dive right into the tarot. If you're new here, you guys, it takes me a second to link up with you guys. I pull the energy in real time. Okay, Spirit, so I see these messages. There's a message that keeps coming through and I keep letting it go because I don't have it fully defined. There's something about like a gentleness with yourself right now as these pieces come together. I feel like there was either like some change in your lifestyle lately, some abrupt ending or something that was transformational. And as you go through this next phase, Spirit is showing me a cicada, when they come out of their shell, they're very soft still. Or a crab, when a crab molts its shell, it's very, very soft. It's literally squishy. You could stick your finger through it. And that exoskeleton takes time to harden. I feel like there's this, it's an interesting message. I'm wondering why they're trying to give it this way. You've gone through this metamorphosis. A part of you could have died that you let go of, okay? And we want you to be gentle with yourself as your new self hardens, okay? And we don't want you necessarily, this is what I feel like they mean, to focus on like sadness or sorrow or grief or something like that. For some reason, they really actually want you to focus your energy more on being empowered and feeling your power. The moose talks about self-esteem, feeling very good about yourself. The squirrel, it makes sense to me. It's a grounding energy, but in order to take flight, right? Because the story associated with this card is that one squirrel was able to utilize all its energy of gathering and collective and preparation to the point where it was able to take flight like the eagle and become a flying squirrel. So that's the message that's coming through for you, pile one. There's something about like letting these pieces come together naturally, not forcing them, just it's like almost observing them. There's a real gentleness, which I feel like is divine female energy. That's kind of where you should be or where you are in your life right now. Almost like I see you taking a step back and watching things happen. Not happen to you, but kind of like from a a perspective where oh God, these messages are coming through in the most interesting way. I'm seeing you in your future look back on yourself, and it's like from that perspective. So I feel like what Spirit wants you to do is identify a time in your life where you also went through a healing process, a period of transformation, and either send yourself energy to that timeline. Time doesn't exist. You can always do that. Send energy to yourself back then, because it could help you through something. Or we want you to look at your situation from your higher self. So from a very loving perspective, which means not trying to push yourself in any one direction right now. I'm trying not to be redundant. This message, though, is just sitting very heavily in my stomach. It's taking up like all the space. It says just like, be gentle with yourself. But when I look at the cards on the table, it says, because there's great power within you. Okay, and we'll get that out. I just feel like we're kind of asking you to prepare to take flight like the squirrel, because this would make a lot of sense to me. Okay, this person's healing, they're grounding themselves. On the outside, we have power, lightning, and self-esteem, the moose. All those qualities might be needed for a squirrel that, doesn't fly, to be able to be a flying squirrel like the eagle. Eagle is represented, that energy is spirit, okay? So, and I hope this is making sense to you guys. Like flying squirrels, of course they can't fly, they glide, but it's the energy of that where you take yourself where you are right now. I feel like there's like a leveling up, or like a very awful way of explaining this would be like a glow up, because self-esteem is coming through and the lightning and power as well. I just feel like be gentle with yourself right now with whatever you're navigating, and almost take a divine female approach, which is almost allow things to come to you versus divine masculine at this time, which would be like, go get it. There's power in being receptive at this time, however this applies to you, okay? Yeah, cool, interesting. The messages, they're coming through as like very loaded or sophisticated, and it's I'm intrigued by it. Sorry, I'm just being what's it called, self-aware right now, self-conscious. Okay, can I see the very outer layer? This is for pile one. If it takes me too long to connect with the deck, I'll just do a jump cut, you guys. Pile one, please. It feels like this. The outer layer. King of Pentacles. Yeah. With Judgment. Yes, that makes sense. Okay. So, I actually really love the Judgment card in this deck. because that's what I saw. Like something in you had died, or like a metamorphosis. You know, this caterpillar, it's got a really soft exoskeleton. So it doesn't even have an exoskeleton. It's just very soft, like a molted crab. Okay, and what I'm getting is that we don't want you. Let me move past this. This is exactly what I saw, even though we were dealing with a temperance card. And so I just wanted to pull it out instead of this. Anyway, so I see the Judgment card. Forgiving yourself for something is the energy that's coming through. We want you to be like gentle with yourself, kind to yourself at this time. I feel like in a career sense, that looks pretty good. Your finances look pretty good. Maybe you actually have a little bit more financial stability than you've had in a while. This also gives me the grounded energy of squirrel, which is like preparation. I feel like you're preparing for some change or shift in your life, and we don't want you to rush through the period of healing, okay? Because this isn't the exact scenario I see, but the meaning is the same. If we sometimes like get something but don't appreciate it and just drop it and move on to the next thing, it will actually prevent us from moving forward because we haven't felt through that experience. So I feel like there's either something you need to forgive about yourself, like either literally be just kinder to yourself, more gentle, or it's to like give yourself credit for something. I feel like you guys deserve credit from yourself about something going on in your life. Let's go a little bit deeper. Can I see inside this? Yeah, we really want energy to be spent on like reflecting on something right now. That's the energy of the Four of Swords. Page of Cups. You kind of feel there. Let me just keep going, you guys. Okay, maybe one more. Okay. Can we see all this? Yeah. Okay. So this is why we have the Temperance card here. I feel like, and then Spirit's trying to get you to focus on the positive right now, despite what's going on. I think because at the core of your reading, we have the Page of Cups with the Three of Swords. Maybe kind of like heartbreak or loss of love or something like that. In a different sense, it would be bringing your heart and your mind back into harmony, back into balance at this time. That's why we don't want you to rush forward. I feel like you guys, you literally picked out these swords, okay? These self-limiting beliefs, these guilty feelings, these negative thoughts and ideas. I literally feel like some ego, like some past version of you has like literally died. And I'm seeing like this heart, yeah, it's got all these, I'm looking at these swords as if they're like a hard exoskeleton. And now without them, you just have your bare heart. And what I feel like is like, there's just this energy coming through about be very gentle with yourself, okay, pile one? I feel like some of you are mourning the loss of something, okay? And there is a second message that has to do with like being prepared, okay, for something that's coming. Okay, and let's just do that. Let's take a look next about what you don't see coming. We're going to leave your Temperance card out, but I'm going to put the other cards away. And you. Okay. So actually, I want to pull another one of these. This is for pile one. And again, you guys, it might take me a while to get the message out. I might have to use other cards. Sometimes it's there immediately, sometimes it's not. I have a very an interesting energy with you guys right now. I feel like I want to just be there as your friend and hold your hand. But it's like Spirit is literally keeps telling me like it's okay to not just focus on like what has passed or what has died. There's something about like you stepping into I feel like a brighter season of your life, just like a really like a so much happier you can't even understand it, because that thing that had to die, it you were attached to it. It was beautiful in some parts, but in other ways it was not good for you. Um, I think that spirit is like, you can hold on to the memories, but we don't want you to hold on to the rose tinted glasses. You have Island with Solitude, yeah. What you don't see coming. I feel like it's not necessarily like a period of being alone. There's something to do with the purple tree right there. The purple tree, I feel like, because the tree says to get grounded, the color purple is very bizarre to see on this tree. Purple is the third eye, okay? And I actually chose a purple candle and a purple candle holder today. It's usually white. That's interesting. Purple third eye, so awakening, okay? But I'm getting like you getting sort of very grounded and quiet right now, allowing yourself to be very gentle. There's some message that comes through. I don't want to call it an epiphany. I don't want to call it a realization, because it doesn't quite feel like it. But I feel like Spirit is just showing me like there was a letter that got lost in the mail. That's the energy of that, not necessarily, right? The energy of like something that was already there, already exists for you, but you couldn't see it because it went to the wrong destination. It's like you in this different energy, it can finally get to you. It might literally be an inspiration. It might be a message in your dreams. It might be direct communication from your spirit guides. It might be an epiphany. It's going to be a little bit different for each of you, but I'm just getting this concept of like, for some reason, you getting very grounded right now provides something to you that has to do with the third eye, which to me has to do with like visions, psychic ability, things of this nature. This is what you don't see coming. So let's go ahead and just open up this message a little bit more with the tarot, and then we're going to do a message from the void. Okay, so for pile 1, please. This Island with Solitude. It's like, this is exactly it. Do you see what I mean, pile 1? Where it's like, here's the energy of victory, celebration, power, right? Like that lightning card. But here's the energy of temperance, solitude, healing, quietness. Do you see how it's two-folded? It's interesting. Let me have a sip of coffee. I'm getting so curious. Okay, I see victory. Let's go a little bit deeper. And the sun, because the sun's going to come out, but this is you as well, okay? This is you feeling very good about yourself. This is very interesting, okay? What I'm picking up on is like, it's like your authentic self is what you don't see coming. For some of you, it's like a gift. Some of you, it's literally that vibration of something was sent in the mail, just never got to you, but now it gets to you, okay? Again, you're going to have to use it almost as a metaphor because it's going to look a little bit different to each of you, but I also just feel like that past self was literally, you were shining in it, right? But the shining, the light, your radiance was coming through cracks because that shell was holding you back. It was so hard because you were really attached to it. This could be a lifestyle, it could be a person, it could be a relationship, it could be where you were living, it could be a perspective about yourself. I'm just getting that was like, it was like holding you back. It had to go because it was so limiting. You didn't even know that how it was limiting to you, and that's what I'm being shown. You don't even know how it was limiting you because you're about to be somewhere or feeling like it could be the vibration. Just, you've never been like this before. You've never been this free. You've never been this literally like happy. I'm getting like happy. Like you've never been this happy. This is what you don't see coming. You've never felt so victorious. You've never felt so close to yourself. Self-awareness to sun, solitude, the nude figure there. What's it called? I've already said it. My goodness. Not vulnerability. Anyways, moving past it. This is what you don't see coming. What is the word? Authentic. I feel like you're getting close to your authentic self. And it's, you've had glimpses of this in the past whenever, you know, that exoskeleton that you put on, that past reality that you were used to be in. You get glimpses, but you don't know what it's like to shine without that armor on. And that's what's coming. That's what you don't see coming, which is very cool. All right, so let's go ahead and wrap up. I want to do a message from the void. So if you guys are new, these messages from the void, they're channeled messages, automatic writing messages, or just really inspirational epiphanies that I've had while reaching for, you know, psychic help or spiritual help from my guides. But, you know, messages from the void, you know, black inside. There are so many, though, that I have to put them in this bowl. So they didn't used to always be like that. That's kind of cool. So let me just give this a good little shake. Oh, one already came out. We'll take it. Every coming second is unknown. Okay, so this says to, yes, because you guys had the Page of Cups, which is to expect the unexpected, right? It also says to be, you know, if every coming second's unknown, that says obviously be present, get grounded, be and live in the present moment. That's where gifts are received, are in the present moment. And the present moment is a gift because you're able to perceive beauty all around you. Beauty of these stones, beauty of a plant outside, of a candle, the scent of a candle, the sound of bird song. You can appreciate those gifts of life when you're in the present moment. But what I'm also getting from this is that to expect the unexpected, there's something that you don't see coming that's going to just make you, Spirit just keeps saying happy. It's going to make you feel happy. And this is so wholesome is what's coming through. It's, it could literally be money for some of you. It could be a friend. It could be a relationship, but there's more of the focus instead of like abundance. It's just like happiness. And to me, that feels more of like a frequency, which to me feels like a period of your life where things just feel so much better. Oh, that's coming through. There was another message. Every coming second is unknown. So you guys had the energy of the squirrel come through in your reading as well, which is preparedness. So I feel like what Spirit is showing me is that there's like, okay, they're showing me like Olympic gymnastics. Okay, they have like 5 competitors, but there's always a 6th or a 7th or an 8th, you know, a couple alternates that come in case someone gets injured. This is the energy again. I have to speak metaphorically. So, you know, those people, they don't sit at home, you know, in the United States, for example, if the Olympics was in Tokyo or in London or something like that. No, they go to London. They go to Tokyo. They put on their gymnastics gear. They do all their warm-ups and things as if they were going to compete. So in case there has to be a moment where there's an alternate steps in, they have that opportunity. That's what Spirit is showing me right now. It's like some element of preparedness right now. If you are prepared, whatever, that's going to look different to you. Some of you are going to have to clear the deck. Some of you are going to have to pack all your things. Again, it looks totally different. It's a general reading. But Spirit is showing me it's like you will get to the thing that it comes, though, from being prepared. Comes from, you know, getting rid of anything you don't really need, any old junk in your house, clothing. It holds a vibration. So I feel like, especially because there's been such a heavy emphasis of you hardening this new exoskeleton of yours, get rid of old clothes, old books and things that used to be a former identity, because you're stepping into a different aspect of yourself. And we don't want you to hold up anything that used to be. It might remind you of that time period. It also just, Spirit shows me the color gray coming into the aura, which to me talks about dulling your shine, right? And you had the sun come out in your reading, so you're really supposed to be glowing. Rather, you're going to be glowing. But there is a third message that came through with this. Every coming second is unknown. That element of preparedness, just to tie your reading in full circle. Okay, you guys. Well, that is all I'm getting. I'm going to close the channel with Spirit. Thank you so much. Also, thank you, Pile 1, for spending a little bit of your time with me. Of course, I'm always taking new clients. You can find my email below if you have any questions about booking, or you can find a link below to book your own private psychic reading. And if you've made it this far into the video, you can give me a big thumbs up. Thank you so much. It really helps my channel grow. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day or night, wherever you are in the world. And until next time, stay divine. Hey, Pile 2, welcome to your reading. I hope you guys are doing so well today. We're going to do a general reading. Start off with a major arcana card just to get a good glimpse about where you guys are right now and see where the reading takes us. But we are going to wrap up with some messages from the void. I haven't done that in a while, so really looking forward to doing that. I'm trying to clear the energy here with some Palo Santo. That doesn't want to light. All right, get rid of stinky Pile 1. Just kidding, they're not that stinky. Let that kind of burn out. Okay, so for Pile 2, now we're starting off with a major arcana just because, if you're a longtime listener, general readings are not my favorite. And so I feel like there's so many reasons. For one of them, if you actually need help on something in your life, do not, you heard that. You just heard that ding. I know you heard that ding. Do not go to a bunch of YouTube readings. Those are really for entertainment. If you actually need help on something, book a private reading. I'm not saying that has to be with me, but that is a message I want to bring into this community. Not to kind of undercut or sell us tarot readers short, but really, I feel like general readings are super useful for manifestation. They're not useful if you actually have something that you're going through, just because, anyways, that's neither here nor there. So for Pile 2, it's you. I know it's you. The High Priestess. Okay. Wow. What have you guys been up to? My God. Something mystical, something wicked this way comes. Magic, mystery, intrigue. Are you guys psychics? Something like this? You might be. I did choose a purple candle today. I'm usually always choosing white. Okay, Spirit, the High Priestess. Okay, this card calls it empowerment. I don't really see it that way. High Priestess to me kind of really does give me like, let's give Pile 2 the most mystical, occult, esoteric reading. Oh, we got, sorry guys. You guys had the cave pop out on the floor. So there's the double emphasis about something to do in the dark. Okay, so that could be twofold. You guys could be in the dark about something, or we kind of are in this period of magic and mystery. There's the emphasis about going into your place. Okay, so this High Priestess here, she's in her own element, whether this is a room, whether she's in her own imagination right now. She has set her own table. She's got her crystal globe right there, her crystals, her cats. There's the emphasis about her own space to perform this act of divination. And then there's something, the very same over here with the, I almost called it the artist, right? The artist with cave and sanctuary. We have an individual who's in their own place, right? Their own tools and instruments right there, doing some cave art. So there's this concept coming through about like your own space and kind of like magic as well. I do want to draw one more card. We pull the energy here in real time. So if you're new to this channel, honestly, the gold happens in the last like 10 to 15 minutes. I literally said that as the rainbow card. One second. Popped out. Oh, there's nothing. Okay, this makes a lot more sense to me. Okay, what's popping is the hand right here. Okay, we'll get to that in a second, but it was blessings, and underneath I didn't even know that 2 popped out. So we'll start here, okay? But what I was saying was, since this is a real psychic reading, um, the message is, it comes out in real time, right? So you're not going to get the message unless you're sticking around to the very end. And I swear I'm not even trying to get you guys to like boost my analytics. Before I sat down, I was just getting, you guys, I hate those stupid titles online where it's like, you must listen to this now. Your life will change forever. This reading blew my mind. Am I seeing? It drives me crazy that unfortunately, because of, you know, YouTube and views and making money, the spiritual, like, actual, you know, practice is getting like totally convoluted online right now. I just had to, because it used to bug the crap out of me. Now it just makes me laugh. Are you seeing this? Your life will never be the same. Something happens to you, Taurus, that changes your life forever. I cannot take it. It's I'm sorry, you guys, if you find that offensive. I'm really not trying to be offensive, but it blows my mind. It makes me want to be and do things like, this is an actual psychic reading, okay? So it's not going to come out like fully sugar-coated and fully realized, because it's literally a psychic reading. And I'm getting all this literally because, you know, that's the energy I was pulling before I sat down and right now. But also, you know, we have the High Priestess, so we can talk a little bit more about magic and practices and just so annoying. Anyways, I feel like I'm going to take this energy and go in a slightly different direction. I have all this information here. I could tell you little pieces piled too, but that would not help you because it's not a fully realized psychic message. It has to come through like cohesively. And that's a little bit, I don't know if you guys saw my community post. God, I feel like I'm setting a little bit of barbs up. I've got my hackles raised right now because I feel like the spiritual community right now online is doing things that is like literally dissolving and ruining work that has come before them by trying to make money at this. And maybe that's a message for people in here. You know, we did draw one of the coolest cards. I love this High Priestess card. It makes me just want to talk about magic and the occult and things like that. And it is a real problem on the internet that I unfortunately foresee. Like looking into the future, it kind of makes people not believe because they're not coming from a spiritual place. They're coming from an entrepreneur place where they're trying to make money, and that's not right, honey. Anyways, a little bit of a soapbox moment, but Spirit's telling me it's actually kind of accurate. So if you guys are interested in doing like readings, but you don't feel like they fit in online, it's just like a message of discernment. Like really use your discernment right now, pile 2. Go to people you trust. Don't go to people who tell you what you want to hear. Don't go to people who have these like outrageous titles like your life will never be the same. Honey, it is a general reading. No way is that message for everyone. It's I think this is me pulling back lifetimes of experience in this work because I've done this for so many lifetimes. It's a little bit annoying and outrageous to me. It's literally, I've never used that word. I feel like it's outrageous. Okay, so let me just move forward. Anyways, you guys, I hope this isn't like offending anyone. We'll get to the message, but like I said, we're going to do this in real time, as if I was literally sitting down with an individual performing psychic work for them. I'm not just going to tell you little tidbits like, oh, you got a blessing coming and it's from your ancestors. Come on, that's not helpful. So we're going to start with some messages from the void. If you guys are new here, these are channeled messages. These are automatic writing messages. These come through sometimes when I'm trying to reach for spiritual advice from my guides and they just give me something that seems so profound I have to write it down. So there are so many though. I have this bowl out here to help me to just spread the love a little bit. The box is just a little bit too small. It doesn't fit anymore. Maybe that's a message for you guys to let yourself get outside the box or use outside the box thinking. Okay, so let's go ahead. I'm just gonna tune in from Spirit. I'll let you know when I feel... Oh, I feel one. You. Okay. This message is, do you feel guilty for trusting yourself? What's popping is trusting yourself. I'm picking up... Oh, don't smother it. This one came out too. Okay. I'm not feeling this as strong. Maybe I'll pull it in a little. Actually, I'm not going to. What I'm getting is someone who also has had lifetimes before doing spiritual work, something along those lines. Now, I use spiritual work and it can mean so many different things, you guys. It could be anything from Reiki to being a doula, to being a prophet, to being a seer. There's something coming through about like your authentic voice, okay? Because I see the sword laid down, and though I don't like this card being called empowerment, I'm picking up on the sword as being like the throat chakra, okay? Your voice, the way you communicate authentically, okay? I'm coming up with this concept for you guys about like, I feel like you're figuring out your niche. You're figuring out where you fit in best, and there's an element of empowerment with that. The way that I was speaking like 3 minutes ago on this channel, a year ago, I never would have done that. I would have cut it out. That is exactly what's going on here. You guys have gone through some sort of like soul graduation, and I feel like there's so many messages coming through. Holy shit. I feel like you're finding your voice, and that's leading you down a path like so much faster. You're like getting down that path so much faster than you've ever, been able to progress so far in your life or in the past year or a couple months, something along these lines. It is like your actual, like your voice, the way you think, the throat chakra. It's not necessarily how you communicate. It's your point of view. It's your perspective. And it's holding that with integrity throughout life, throughout situations. If you had a friend come in and you have, you don't want to coddle them, you don't want to baby them, because that would taint and color and change your actual integrity and perspective. You're no longer doing that. Sometimes we got to step on a couple toes, in order to get our space, right? Spirit was just showing me like you like putting out your hands, creating boundaries with people and not feeling guilty about that. Now, the second message coming through with, do you feel guilty for trusting yourself? It's coming through with this generations and ancestors card. To me, I feel like you guys have been healers. You've been shamans in the past. You've been priestesses, high priestesses, seers, mystics, shamans, something like that definitely in the past. And I feel like for a time, like there were moments where like you were literally like either killed or tortured for coming up with a prophecy that was inaccurate. And that energy of torture and like murder, I'm sorry to bring like those concepts in, they're really not that dark. Those energies, they stay in your vibration for a long time, even throughout lifetimes. So you guys may have had really weird dreams where you felt like you were a bad guy. No. You have to put on a much stronger barrier to not let negative energy or negative entities in, to keep your light glowing, because what Spirit is showing me is that you have some healing to do around your voice and standing so tall. You are so intelligent, Pile 2, okay? But I think you dull your shine in order to fit in to a certain box, to a certain crowd. What I'm getting is like to not do any of that, to let your freak flag fly. Okay, there's something coming through is like you were shunned in past lifetimes for believing in spiritual things. You were tortured in past lifetimes for producing inaccurate prophecies, things of this nature. Okay, yeah, that's what the message from the void wanted to come through. Okay, but I also feel like it's so synchronistic with this high priestess. Do you feel guilty for trusting yourself? I feel like trusting yourself leads to this blessing. Wherever you are in your life, we'll draw some more cards for sure. Some of you, this is a creative direction that you want to take. Okay, but this ancestors with generation card, I get healing and transmuting. The snake, it represents transmutation, okay? Because a snake bite can kill you, but the antivenom can save you, okay? So it's talking about taking a negative energy and using that to empower you, okay? Again, in the past, I'd be more meek about my voice, trying to appeal to everyone, trying not to step on anyone's toes, trying not to call out anyone in the spiritual community for making absolutely redonkulous titles to their readings. Okay, so it's taking that though, that feeling of feeling small and making it make you feel big, taking an energy vampire and cutting them down to size in order to empower yourself, or setting a barrier that prevents them from being an energy vampire on you. There's an element of taking something, okay, this feeling of guilt, okay, for trusting yourself for this path forward, or cutting off a person, or saying something to someone, taking that feeling of guilt and transforming that to a different vibration. Guilt is not something we should ever hold. Neither is fear. Those are not natural. Those are man-made constructs of the mind. You should never feel guilty about anything. And I know that might prick some hairs again, but it is the reality. We're way too serious in life. Pile 2. This is what Spirit has been showing me this week. We're way too serious about our approach in life. It's no more complicated than identifying what you want and going for it. Okay? I wish I had the time of day. I just don't want to stop the channel right now. I wish I could tell you that in 100 different ways. It is no more complicated than identifying what you want and going for it in this lifetime. Of course, everything has multiple layers. Of course, there are lots of things. I'm not telling you to just run and leave your job, even though I've done that before and it's totally worked out for me. Life, I do feel like it's a lot more of a playground than all this crap that we put online. Like, for example, the people who make those attention-grabbing titles who are literally feeding on human emotion so they can pay their bills. That is not cool. Okay? So what I'm getting is that I feel like you guys should really be in an energy of trusting yourself, but making you feel empowered. And so you need to get rid of something in your vibration that's holding you back from shining at your absolute potential. This is going to lead to a major blessing in your life, Pile 2. Transforming the element of guilt or anxiety and not allowing that to be in your vibration, because it's not human, it's not natural. Fear doesn't exist. It's something that the mind does or man does, okay? Mankind, humans, okay? So there must be some incredible path opening up in front of you, or again, this is very general. It could be something about being okay with someone who practices magic or reads tarot cards or is the black sheep in the family. Being okay with that. We want you to take that okay feeling, because that's still too low, and making it be okay, something you want to sing about, something you want to write about, something that you wear proudly on your chest, like a gold seal or something like that. There's something about like not dulling your shine anymore, okay? This card, if I just keep coming back to it, do you feel guilty for trusting yourself? Some of you could have had like words shared with a friend that you felt were too strong afterwards, but you're actually really trying to define your voice and how you think, and we want you to be able to operate from that place of impeccability and integrity. The energy of the black jaguar, black cougar, black panther is coming through. Okay, so let's move forward. I did say we'll do some tarot cards. Let's just go here, though. I want to get an animal spirit guide for Pile 2. This is just supposed to be a general reading. I actually kind of like that it's taking a different shape than Pile 1. Okay, for you, Pile 2, you have the swan. Oh my god, I love it, you guys. Something to do, ugly duckling turning into a swan. This can be black sheep, okay? But I'm getting this concept as well about you, like, not hiding yourself anymore. There's this concept where you used to be so much lower in vibration. You guys don't understand. Literally 90 things coming in at once. That's what happens when you do general readings. I'm seeing you in a past lifetime. You're spectacular. You're a movie star. You're a hero. You saved someone's life. You literally forget all of that when you go through the veil of forgetting to have another incarnation here. Okay? I feel like you should recognize that in past lifetimes, you've done things you couldn't even fathom in this lifetime. That's where you should be closer in your vibration, much, much higher, okay? The swan talks about grace and beauty, okay? I'm getting this concept of like ugly duckling turns into the swan, right? We don't want you to surround yourselves with other people who peaked before you. I get that you're a late bloomer, okay? Spirit is showing me like, You guys actually probably really could stand to benefit, because this is the third time this has come up, with setting a boundary, or you're setting boundaries right now, and that's just a confirmation, as this is a general reading. Watch who you surround yourself with, okay? You become the 3 people that you hang out with the most, okay? So just be very aware of that. That's why I feel like there might be some element of like creating your own space, your own niche, getting in your own space to figure out who you are and what your voice is, what your perspective is. That's going to serve you very well in this lifetime, okay? I'm getting concepts of like ask for healing in your sleep from your spirit guides, okay? Because you have ancestors. Even if you don't know them like me, I'm adopted. Even if you don't know your ancestors, they love and adore you as you would if you were on the other side looking down at any of your ancestor progeny, whatever the word is, like offspring, whatever, okay? Recognize that there are teams of light and love on the other side, always watching you. We don't remember sometimes to ask for them, okay? I'm getting this concept coming through about like asking for healing or like helping you stand into a more empowered place, okay? There's another message with this swan, and I might do a little bit of a jump cut. I got it out, but I know there's another one in this book, and I'm not afraid to admit that I don't have every single card memorized. So I'm just going to flip to this book. Doesn't mean it's not psychical. I just know that there's something else. It is grace. Swan, the power of women entering sacred space, touching future yet to come, bringing eternal grace. Dreamtime is coming through. Aw, okay. Oh, shush. I didn't even think that this was true. I just got full body shivers. I knew there was something mystical and magical. I wasn't necessarily getting that direction with the swan, but I knew that there was something about magic and mystery. Look at this. If you pulled swan, it ushers in a time of altered states of awareness and development of your intuitive abilities. Swan medicine people have the ability to see the future, to surrender to the power of Great Spirit, and to accept the healing and transformation of their lives. Oh, this is so cool. The Swan card is telling you to accept your ability to know what lies ahead. If you are resisting your self-transformation, relax. It will be easier if you go with the flow. Stop denying that you know who you're calling stop denying that you know who is calling when the phone rings. Pay attention to your hunches and your gut knowledge. Honor your female intuitive side. Wow. Okay. So what I'm getting from this is everything that I've been speaking about so far. I'm glad that I was so authentic, because that's the energy that I got immediately, and I'm glad I didn't try to convolute it with anything else. I do get divine female here. I get the concept of a feminist. I feel like a lot of people don't know that a feminist is actually not necessarily just someone who supports women's rights. It's someone who supports equality of all people, okay? So that's what I get from you guys, which means that you're highly evolved. With the Swan and the High Priestess, with the Cave and Sanctuary generations, there is something coming through about an ability that you guys have. It's extra sensory, okay? It could be clairaudience, claircognizance, like the book was referring to, clairvoyance, like what I have. I think that there is an ability that you have. Yes, that's why I kept getting shown the black sheep. There's something that you should feel proud of. Pile 2. There's something you definitely should feel proud of when it comes to a spiritual ability, a gift of some sort. We'll get a little bit more about that. That's why there was such a strong message about, I think in your past lives, you have been, used and abused is what I want to say. Okay? In like in a seer sense, or a prophet, right? The concept of you, someone gave you a lot of their money in order for you to do an act of divination, and then their husband comes back around and beats you up a little bit because you stole their wife's money, which was his money. The energy of that is coming through. I did not know that this Swan card had to do so much with like actual like spiritual realms and psychic ability, but that makes a lot of sense. I feel like if that is super fascinating to you, you could book a private reading. I also have a video on here about what your greatest spiritual gift is. You can find that on my channel. I think it's my most popular one. When I used to get views, you guys, I love it. Again, I literally don't care about views. This is like a really fun thing that I do on YouTube. I hope you guys don't take that again. I was just working with the energy that I got. And I feel that way when I talk to like-minded individuals like starseeds. So I would not be surprised if there is a starseed in here. Even someone as cool as an Andromedan starseed, if you are in here, drop a comment, say something below, make yourself known. I would love to know who else is a starseed in this community. Let's move forward with some tarot. Okay, so Spirit, I'm getting these messages about someone in here who really needs to just be okay with having extrasensory abilities. If that is even if that's just like sounds super exciting to you, recognize that that vibration of excitement is because it's calling you to go towards and investigate it. You may not be a full-blown psychic, but that path forward, if you go towards that urge, it will lead you to something else, or it would, make your paths cross with someone else, which could point you towards what you really, really wanted to do. There's something coming through about not taking life so seriously, but also understanding that there is a lot more than we can see. There's so much more magic and mystery. Okay, another message I was told this week is the concept of densities, okay? There's a lot of talk in the spiritual community right now about 3D, 4D, 5D. The dimensions, it has to do with how much volume of information you can hold. Here on the third dimension, we cannot hold the vibration of all of our past lives because it would make our souls explode. The vessel we carry, the vessel that we operate in this incarnation can literally only hold so much information. So that's why we call it, going through the veil of forgetting is actually what I feel like it is. We go through that veil of forgetting because we literally can't hold those lessons from 4D and 5D down here in 3D. Okay. I honestly feel like I don't need to draw any more cards. I do want to do like a quick little like what you don't see coming, I guess. Let's use a totally different deck for that. I just feel like everything we've talked about, it's almost like you just wanted someone to talk to today, and I love that. It feels like the energy of that in this reading. You needed someone in this field to spark you up again, to make you feel good about having abilities that the average person doesn't have. I'm going to leave this card here. Do you feel guilty for trusting yourself? Don't. Remember, that's not a real vibration. Fear, no. Okay, so let's wrap this up. Spirit, can we have one final card for pile 2, and then I will rest my voice, I promise, before pile 3. Okay, so for pile 2, please. This is something pile 2 doesn't see coming. This is for pile 2, please. This is something that they don't see coming. For pile 2, please. Power. Oh my god. With the moon in Scorpio. Some of you are... Oh, Spirit's trying to humble me. Some of you are more powerful than I am. There is someone in here who really has an advanced developed gift. Leave a comment below. So with Scorpio in the 8th house, that has something to do with intensity when it comes to your career, but also secrets and mystery. Okay, the 8th house is very occult. It's also, I feel like, the least understood house, which makes sense with High Priestess there. Okay, here's another message about like I'm getting this concept of being alone here. Okay, if we see the mountains right here and then this person below, I'm getting this concept of someone in a cave, right? Here we have mountains in the distance, right? It's not black around them, but there's light. It doesn't matter. I don't have to explain that to you. I'm getting the concept of someone in a cave. They're laying down, so they're getting quiet. They're by themselves. Power, empowerment, the High Priestess, double moons coming on. This is a message. This reading is for other starseeds, light workers, to kind of ignite you. Okay, what you don't see coming, I love it because it's like double don't see coming. It's like a real development of one of your spiritual gifts that you've been trying to practice and hone in on. For some of you, there could be tests and healing that you're living out in your dreams. For some of you, you simply has to, thank you, Spirit. Some of you just literally have to give your guides permission to access this ability of yours because you asked for in past lifetimes for this to be blocked. I think in your childhood, you guys had some things that scared you. You might still literally be scared of the dark right now. I think that you have literally said, like, I don't want to see that, whether that was out loud or subconsciously. And so you've blocked that. But some of you have a beautiful gift, okay? A very, very beautiful gift to share. It's spiritual in nature, absolutely. Psychic ability, Reiki, something along these lines, right, you guys? But I feel like you want to, it excites you so much, but it also terrifies you. And that is just a lack of knowledge and understanding. And you can develop and gain your knowledge throughout the rest of your life. I feel like there's something coming through because it all has to do with the magical, mystical high priestess about someone who literally like prevented spirit from showing them things. Like you literally could be a medium, right? And you saw things as a kid. You're scared of the dark, especially if these things resonate. You're highly sensitive, extra sensitive. You could have literally said, I don't want to see that ever again. No. And blocked that in this incarnation. But you also could have incarnated many times before where you didn't want to be punished like you were in the past for being a prophet and a seer or a witch or something along these lines. And so through multiple incarnations, you've kind of told that to not exist. But I feel like you're safe in this incarnation to allow it to come out. You're going to have to determine that for yourself, though. Okay? Yeah, something I knew it was going to be something beautifully occult and mystical, and just everything that we've been talking about is so fun. But I do sense that we are closing the channel. Thank you, Spirit. And I want to thank you, Pile 2, for spending a little bit of your time with me. And if you've made it this far into the video, you can give me a big thumbs up. Thank you so much. It helps the channel grow. Of course, I'm always taking new clients. If you have any questions about that, you can find my email below. Or if you'd like to book a private reading, you can find a link to do that directly. And I hope you have a great rest of your day or night, wherever you are in the world. And until next time, stay divine. Hey, Pile 3, welcome to your reading. I hope you guys are doing so well today. So we're going to do a general reading today. Piles 1 and 2 have been totally different. The message, but also the format. So I want to mix things up with you, Pile 3. Oh, I don't know who you are, but it feels like you. Ooh, rebirth. I love that. Sorry, mix things up by starting with an animal spirit guide. So you guys have bat with rebirth. You guys are my phoenixes rising from the ashes. I think that you guys have gone through some kind of like sort of like struggle or strife, awkward period, awkward conversation, awkward something that you're navigating. It's going to look a little different for each of you. Something uncomfortable though, and it was a rite of passage because it's meant to kind of either put you in your personal power or put you on the right path, put you on let's just get another card. Oh my god, the star. Okay. So what Spirit is drawing my attention to is kind of like the shaman's death. That's what the message is associated with this bat. Okay? And the shaman's death, they go through very uncomfortable situations, scenarios, rites of passage, where they could either like walk on fire, be burned, be spat on, be buried underground. All of these concepts in order to heal themselves so that they can heal others in the future. That's what Spirit is showing me right now. And I feel like because they're emphasizing more of like the kind of like the darkness that you're coming out of, with the star, I'm getting this concept of hope. Okay? And I feel like we want you guys to just keep hope, keep the vibration of hope and faith strong. There's a quote that's coming to mind. It's trust and surrender equals faith. Trust and surrender equals faith. So what I see is literally the light at the end of the tunnel, and the bat, it emphasizes rebirth. So I feel like some of you, because it's general, you guys are just in this really uncomfortable phase when we really got to be hopeful about the best possible outcome, because that literally will change your vibration, which will literally change your fate. Others of you have been through the uncomfortable beginning and you're now emerging, and it might be time to guide other people and to show other people what you do and what you've gone through and how it might be done. And that process of showing or guiding other people can look like writing songs, writing poetry, singing. It could be dance, interpreted dance. It could be making films. It could be making YouTube videos. It could be painting, illustrating, working with fibers or ceramics, metals, anything of that nature, to kind of transmute what you've gone through. Okay, because Spirit, I just heard the word graduation. They want you to make a clear and clean cut off from the past and a departure from the past, okay, and to step into something a lot more uplifted. And the real emphasis, though, is just making sure it's a clean divorce from the past. They're also kind of using this reading as a space and time to give you a confirmation about like the worst being over. Okay, there's something that, like, I feel like 2023 is giving everyone a plot twist. And it's happening in the first half of the year. Okay, so again, this could be for some of you already happened. It could be happening right now, or it could be in the future for you guys. Again, it's nothing to fear. It's always to give us, a good lesson, or to put us even closer to what we would consider our ideal or dream life. Okay, so what they want to show us, though, is that this alchemical moment is here for us. Nothing ever happens to us. It's definitely for us. Let's get a little bit more with some earth magic cards. Yeah, this feels like don't lose hope, okay? Surrender for some of you is a message. And the plot twist, again, it's literally what Spirit is showing me is a slingshot. And so, pretend I have a slingshot in my hand. So what you literally do is you have to like pull the rubber band backwards, which it was totally went off camera. Yeah, you have to pull it back and let go, and then it can fly forward and hit its mark. That's what the plot twist is. Using that metaphor, it feels like you're being pulled backwards, taking steps backwards, but it's to launch you so much further. So that's how they want you guys to look at this concept of a plot twist. Can we have one more card, Spirit? Mountain with strength. Okay. Wow, all these messages today have had kind of like a little bit of a denser, heavy note to them. I feel like everyone in this community is kind of like going through something, and that's going to look different to each of you. But what Spirit is showing me is that you have a mountain of strength within you, okay? And that we only need to focus on one thing at a time, okay? Every week I get like 2 or 3 main messages, and that's one of my main messages this week. The other one that I relayed in pile 2 was we make life so complex compared to what it has to be. Okay, and I'm gonna pull that through in a second, because it does feel like it resonates here. But another message is that it's just one thing at a time. Okay, I feel like as you move forward, okay, some of you are picking up the pieces, some of you are leaving all of that in the past and emerging as this, because the original depiction of this is a nude figure. You're clean like a baby. Your slate is clean. Whatever you're going after next, okay, make it a big one. Right? Like this mountain here. Make it a big one. Make your wish as big as you can possibly imagine right now. If you're really confused about life path, anything of that nature, Spirit is saying entertain your wildest dreams. Why? Because I feel like, and it's just the energy of this, you guys, I feel like you keep trying to identify, or this was you in the past. You're identifying like, okay, I need to do something else with my life. I want to do something else. I want to be, I want to be in a different experience than this. And I feel like what Spirit shows me is that you've been using kind of practical approaches to figuring out what that next goal is. And we don't want it to be something that's so attainable that you could have it in a year or even like a couple of weeks. They're showing me like, if you give yourself time and space to entertain your wildest dreams, you're going to be able to dream big enough to identify something that you would have designed before you incarnated. You would not have designed the most mundane life. I don't believe that because Earth is so difficult to navigate. I don't know that you would have done that. I feel like you would have identified something fun. So if you're not totally in love with your life right now, pile 3, what Spirit is saying is entertain your wildest dreams. What does that mean? Give yourself space and time to daydream, literally, to think about what you would love to do. Right? Get rid of any kind of limiting beliefs about time and money. All of those things can be achieved way easier than you think. Okay, to pull on that other message that Spirit was giving me this week is we make life so difficult and complex, like a trillion times more than it has to be. The reality is, and I'm not going to spend too much longer on this, the reality is you just need to identify where you want to go, a desire, and then go for it. We spend so much time talking ourselves out of things or using our past experiences to give us an idea of what could be accomplished. We need to think outside the box if you want to have this, total rebirth. I'm getting like you are like you got a clean slate. This feels energetically very high vibrational. I feel like you guys, you got a clean slate. You can go anywhere you want right now. The emphasis is up here, okay? It's up. It's at the very tippy top, okay? Some of you have huge dreams, goals, and aspirations. Keep going towards them. The advice is to take one step at a time because they're cumulative. We can get lost along our path if we look at the end result and you try to hold in your brain all of the things that need to be accomplished in order to get there. All of the decisions that need to be made in order to get from A to Z. If you hold in your mind all of that complexity, there's no way you're going to have clarity to be able to take the next step. Spirit is showing me that what they mean by one thing at a time is that you have to have there has to be some freedom, some literal free space, like gigabytes on a laptop, is what they're showing me, in your brain for chance to work with you, for the universe to work with you, for serendipity to occur, for synchronicities to come through, space for Spirit to provide messages and guidance for you. Okay, they're showing me that we hold too much in the mind right now about a really distant goal or dream or a big desire of ours. We just need to take it one step at a time. Okay, if you can make a decision today about one step, that's perfect. It moves you closer. But if you're holding in your mind, like, let me just try to figure out something like, okay, just like a horse barn. I want to have my own professional horse barn one day. If you try to hold in your mind the type of horse you want, where they're going to come from, how you're going to pay for it, where's the horse barn going to be, how many acres, what state, is it even in a place where people want to do horses? Should it even be in the country that you presently live in? If you hold all of those, and that's only just a few of them, in your head, that's already all of the memory space the Spirit is showing me. That's everything. It's already taking up so much room that it feels like you can't move and it's impossible. But the mountain goat, this is giving Capricorn energy. It climbs to the top of the mountain one step at a time. We just, in this lifetime, we're not used to things moving so slowly because we most likely come from 4 or 5D. We just come back here to help other people or to heal other parts of ourselves. So we're used to things moving much quicker, but that's not really how life is here in the 3D. So it's really helpful to remember to just take things one step at a time. And it's so important that you identify something that you actually want to do. Okay? I'm getting the concept, I did a reading not too long ago where this individual was just coming up with all these really practical jobs, but hated them. If you literally took a step back and didn't think about money, hated them because they meant that she would be chained to a desk inside, and she's a very outdoors person. She's very, very intelligent. She was coming up with lawyer. She was coming up with marketing, business analyst. All these ideas required her to be behind a desk at a job, right? Instead of like really thinking outside the box, Spirit is showing me that it is so important, pile 3, that the dreams and goals that you go after are ones that you want, right? The original depiction of the star card shows an individual who's nude. It talks about authenticity. So if you're going after something and you don't even want it, you're going to use your intelligence to come up with ways to make it not happen, to come up with ways to convince you that you're satisfied where you are at present. Okay, so I know I make it sound easier than it feels, but what I've been getting major downloads this week about is it's so much easier than we're making it on ourselves. It comes down to faith and trust. Those are measures that we often overlook, okay? I'm not here to say that I am the richest person in the world, right? Or I'm the most talented person in the world, but I don't let those things stop me from dreaming. It starts in the mind. Everything starts in the mind. Think of a house. You want a house in Colorado, for example, okay, and it hasn't been built before. Well, that idea, it already exists, but it's in the mind, and it starts there. You're not going to design a house that has less square footage than you want, or no kitchen or no bathroom, right? You're going to design whatever that looks like in your mind and figure out the rest of the finances when it comes to that phase. But what Spirit is showing me is we often put the cart before the horse, okay? And so we're trying to like stop ourselves from imagining and dreaming. And that is what is so unique about being on Earth, about being a human. It's our ability to be creative. And what Spirit is showing me is we cannot damper our creativity if we want to experience all of the amazing aspects of life being here in the third dimension right now. Okay, so identify that big goal of yours, that big dream. If you're not going after something that you want, and I'm truncating it because it's what Spirit shows me is it's like you have that needs to die. That's what the rebirth is all about. You have to cut off that very practical mindset. The blinders, we have to take them off. We have to be able to have a moment in space and time where we give ourselves the space to dream, where we entertain our wildest dream, whatever that looks like. And your wild dream doesn't have to literally be like, oh, I want to live in Dubai and race horses. Like, what if your dream is, I want to have a little cabin in the woods and I don't have to stress about traveling to work, and I want to cook my own food and I want to live sustainably off the grid. Your dream can be anything. But what Spirit is showing me is a difference between potentially what you're doing now and what you would do if you didn't operate your life or your way of thinking with blinders on and limitations. They want you to have this feeling of expansiveness, like if you were standing on the top of this mountain right now. They're showing me you with your arms wide open, and they're showing me that infinity is so much more expansive than we could possibly think. We're going to be alive forever. They're saying, like, really take advantage of this energy of entertaining your wildest dreams. I know I'm going off about that, but it feels very resonant. We're going to draw a message from the void for you, pile 3. If anyone's new here, these are channeled messages. They're messages done through automatic writing. They're also like downloads or epiphanies reached when I am making an effort to connect with my spirit guides. They're called messages from the void. However, there are so many these days that I have to use this bowl. Otherwise, they just, I can't get a good mix on them. So let's go ahead and give this a really good mix. There's one that is give it time. Okay, your message is give it time. Okay. No need to rush this. Let's put this aside. That feels very done. Give it time to me is the emphasis on how I was saying. Give yourself the space and time to entertain your wildest dreams. What they're showing me, you guys, is you doing the act of creation in the mind opens up new neural pathways, which provides you literal gateways moving forward to actually achieve what you want to experience. Okay, but give yourself time to actually come from a place where you don't feel like you're operating with the blinders on, with self-limiting beliefs, okay? The world, it's so much more complex and abundant and willing to work with us than we know. It's because we carry years and years of blinders on that we've put on collectively. They're showing me something about like I really actually don't like this example because it doesn't really pertain to me, but when you're a kid, you know, your wildest dreams, what were they? And I only say that because when I was a kid, all I did was play imagination. Like if I could be by myself and just, you know, play make-believe with my horses or Barbies or something like that, that's what I would do. So again, that doesn't really like, it's not something I actually want to do nowadays, but I don't know why I'm even telling you this, but it's the energy of that. You know, when you were young, before you started to accumulate self-limiting beliefs like, oh, that's too hard to get into, or that costs too much money, or only the top 1 percentile is good enough to do that. We want to make sure that you can come at this dreaming from a place where you know that you're not underneath all of that, the weight of all that. Okay, so let's go ahead and move forward. Just flesh out this reading a little bit more for pile 3. Okay, so Spirit, for pile 3, let's just, I feel like I was just channeling for you guys because I got a wicked headache. I gotta be honest with you. In the back of my head, trying to a little bit come back into my body. Let's take a look at the outer fields for pile 3, please. Ooh, strength. Strength's coming in twice, you guys. Actually, I put these on the wrong side because that's literally a 6, and this is literally the strength card coming in, and then the blue mountains in the background. Okay. If you guys have a grandmother in spirit, this is oftentimes a little hello from her. I love that. Okay, so with the double 6s lining up like that, to me, this is giving nostalgia, but also childhood and also children, okay? I feel like you guys are picking up because you cut off something, or you went through something really uncomfortable or awkward or just hard, difficult to navigate. Because you've gone through that, you've actually, what Spirit is showing me is like you sloughed off like all of that dead weight, you know, or, you know, wiped the mud off your glasses. And they're showing me that your mind and your spirit are coming from a place now, this is what you can expect moving forward, coming from a place of beginner's mindset. And if that's, you know, that's the goal at the very least. If you don't really feel like that's you at this moment, we want to come from that place, you know, of like being a child, being a kid again, where things seem infinite and possible and harmonious moving forward. Okay. And then the double strength card is it's not like that's going to be super easy at all times. There's definitely going to be trials and tribulations, but if you just take them one at a time, you're totally capable of accomplishing all of them. But if you try to like come at this from like 100 angles at once, that's too much, right? But if you're able to just meet one hurdle once at a time, you can get over that hurdle. But Spirit is showing me is sometimes we just accumulate too many, okay? So these are the energies in the outer field. Thank you for that confirmation. That was creepily synchronistic. Let's move a step in. Yeah, dreaming a new world. Where are you going to go next? Pile 3. Page of Cups. Keep your energy high. Expect the unexpected. Let's go a little bit deeper. The moon. Okay. I love to see that. And I want to, for some reason, I really want to do this. And I want to do this. Okay. Okay. That's not a sigh for you, by the way. I always have to explain that. I do psychic readings over the phone sometimes, and people are like, "Oh no, is it bad?" And I'm like, "Oh God, no, 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 no." I have to sigh sometimes in order to like clear energy. Okay, so the stars, the moon, I'm always in this twilight, in the shadow of your heart. The song is Cosmic Love by Florence and the Machine. You might look that up. There might be specific lyrics for you. I think you've been going through a period of healing. Okay? I think you've been going through a period of healing, especially the mind. Okay? And I get healing because we have the star, we have rebirth, and we have the angel of temperance, as well as the double messages of strength. Spirit is saying, especially with this message of give it time, I feel like right now, the kinder you are to yourself, the better the results are going to be down the road. We want you to be a little bit gentle with yourself right now, especially if you're trying to identify a path forward, okay? What Spirit is showing me is that right here, this moon card, it represents our fears, our insecurities, okay? Especially when it comes to our life path. And all those messages that came out so rapid fire that totally exhausted me at the beginning of your reading about... oh God, now my mind is like, I'm fading very fast. This is my third one today, pile 3. Shoot, what was that? Just give me a second. You guys, I totally dropped that message. And yeah, I feel like the majority of what came out is exactly what was supposed to be read to you guys at this time. I'm so sorry, but I suddenly feel like I have maxed out today. So your reading is going to be a little bit shorter than the other piles, but I really did enjoy it. And I want to thank Spirit for spending their time to help me work on this channel. I want to thank you guys for spending a little bit of your time with me. Of course, I'm always taking new clients. If you have any questions about that, you can find my email below, or you can find a link to book your own private psychic reading. And if you've made it this far into the video, you can give me a big thumbs up. Thank you so much. It really does go a long way, helps the channel grow, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day or night, wherever you are in the world. And until next time, stay divine.